WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Connor James. Elkhorn City voters are 1 week away from deciding whether the city will allow alcohol sales. The debate caused a divide through the community, with both sides saying their decision is important. WYMT's Buddy Forbes talked to voters who say they're just ready for it to be over.
Next week could change whether one eastern Kentucky city allows alcohol sales.
I really don't know what'll happen. I mean, we've been fighting it so long in this town.
It is a decision Elkhorn City has been debating for years.
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, and we will do what we think is best for us and also what I think is best for our community, and that is the no vote.
The community spent months divided with signs and opinions about whether alcohol sales should be allowed in city limits.
Being dried legally, it is. But this town is as wet as any other town. They just don't sell it.
Because many say the option, which is on ballots during Tuesday's general election, can help with the struggling economy.
The town should have already been prepared for that. They knew it was coming. Everybody could see it coming for years.
But others believe the answers for the city lie in other places.
Then there needs to be other options put into our city because, this is a wonderful, beautiful city.
They do, however, agree on one thing.
Well, I love my town. I love my neighbors. I love the mayor.
They love Elkhorn City and want to see it come back together.
So we're hoping that, when it's over, that no matter what happens, that, we become the smile-knit community that we've always been.
Regardless of the election outcome. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Stacey said he encourages people to remember that there is more on the ballot than the wet-dry decision, and he hopes to see voters turning out Tuesday. Polling places for Elkhorn's precincts will be at the Artists Collaborative Theater in City Hall. There are some other wet-dry elections across the region that have not received as much attention. Well, Democratic candidate for Governor Andy Beshear and Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman are coming to Eastern Kentucky tomorrow. Beshear is stopping at the Big Blue Smokehouse in Hazard at noon. We are also just learning that Rocky Atkins will be there as well. Beshear will then head to the Golden Corral in London at 2 p.m. At both stops, he is expected to meet with voters. Stops are also planned in Louisville and Richmond. Well, Kentucky Valley Education Co-op, also known as KVEC, announced their legislative goals for the 2020 session. Their main goal, to advocate for adequate funding for all of our components in education, also focusing on professional development and teacher recruitment. Robbie Fletcher, superintendent of Lawrence County Schools, says they believe they have a plan to do that.
We believe increasing that pipeline starts with making sure that we have benefit packages for teachers. We have a good retirement system. So we want to make sure that we have those type of incentives that will draw the best and brightest into our field.
Now, KVEC has been in existence for more than 50 years now, with 53 districts included. Well, a John Maxwell event called Live to Lead in the Mountains kicked off in Pikeville this morning. More than 200 people came out to learn vital leadership skills. It was held inside the optometry building at the University of Pikeville. Philip Haywood says he is happy to help bring a conference like this to the region.
Help us become better leaders, help us grow, and then be able to take it back to our teams to share with them.
Local businesses, schools, churches, and more were invited. The event is designed to equip attendees with new perspective, practical tools, and key takeaways. Haywood says if you want your community to grow, leadership should be at the roots.
Pretty nice day, mild day here in the mountains, but we saw a little bit of that cloud cover increase, which is why we're a little bit on that cooler side. We'll go ahead and take you to that almanac. Usually right around 69 around this time of year. We hit 69 today, usually right around 64, so a little bit above that average, a little bit on the cooler side. Low of 52 this morning, a little bit on that warmer side as well. Satellite and radar, you can see those clouds have been increasing really throughout the day today and into those evening hours, and that is because of that cold front that is moving into the mountains. Most of us into the 50s. 50s now. 55 Harlan, 59 into London, 57 Jackson, 54 up into Moorhead. So most of us actually dropping right near those low to mid 50s with those clouds in place. Not going to drop and not going to see those temperatures warm up at all as we head into the rest of those evening hours. But a cold front is on the way, which means soggy conditions return tomorrow and even for your Halloween. And after that, chilly temperatures arrive. We'll break down that soggy Halloween forecast coming up in just a little bit. Connor.
All right, thanks, Paige. Well, trick-or-treating can be one of the most enjoyable days for kids or adults. I mean, dressing up in candy. What's not to love? We're just a few days away from Halloween, and you know what that means. It's time for us to talk safety here at WYMT. Okay, so first off, candy. You're going to want to double check it, as always. Good rule of thumb, if it looks suspicious, don't eat it.
Suckers, the little dum-dum suckers, if the wrapper's falling off, that's something usually not to mess with.
Tampering of the wrapper is one of the best ways to tell. Now, candy is obviously worrisome, but one of the biggest threats does not come from those sweets.
Halloween is one of the most dangerous times of the year, holiday-wise, for children getting hit by vehicles.
Cars on Halloween are and should be scarier to you than these lawn decorations. The National Safety Council shared this frightening statistic. Children are more than twice as likely to be hit by a car and killed on Halloween than any other day of the year.
For motorists, you want to slow down in your neighborhoods, watch for kids who may be in dark clothing.
Hazard Police Officer Zach Miller offers some good advice to help keep that scary statistic away from your neighborhood.
You want to make sure that they've either got reflective tape, glow sticks, flashlights, something like that to illuminate themselves as they're walking, when it gets dark.
Another piece of advice, stay away from houses that look unwelcoming.
If you come across a house that has that's not well lit, no porch light on or anything, it's best just to skip that house and go to the next one.
They probably don't have candy there anyway. Overall, just practice safety, travel in numbers, and as always, just have fun. Now, with weather impacting this year's trick-or-treating, officers also just say to be weather aware, to make sure to take that into account as well. And with that likelihood of rain and nasty conditions that Paige mentioned a little earlier, many cities and counties are moving their trick-or-treat dates to other days this week. You can find the latest list of trick-or-treat dates on our website, WYMT.com. We plan to continuously update the list as more cities and counties make decisions. Well, the Hazard Stroke and Survivor and Caregiver Support Group partnered with Hazard ARH for World Stroke Day, reminding the community anyone can have a stroke. They provided stroke screenings and information about how to catch these symptoms. Not knowing what to do after can cause more problems in the future, but having someone there that has been through it helps.
It's important for the stroke survivors, not only them, but for the caregivers to see and be around other people who are going through the exact same thing they are, because those of us who have not had a stroke don't understand what they're going through.
Everybody's in the same boat, and if you've accomplished something, if you've done better, if they've done better, it gives you a chance to discuss that.
Now, the support group is for anyone in surrounding counties. They meet the fourth Wednesday of every month right here in Hazard. Well, the Pikeville Police Department is looking for the public's help in identifying a vandal that hit Pike County's Foggy Mountain community. The vandal is accused of defacing campaign signs in that area just along Justin Corey Hamilton, but that belonged to Justin Corey Hamilton, excuse me, one of the men running for Pike County's family court judge seat. Police Chief Chris Edmonds says the department was given footage of what is believed to be the vandal's vehicle, but that footage was not clear since it happened in the early morning hours.
If anybody's seen anything, we noticed some vehicles going by on the roadway. If anybody noticed a vehicle kind of out of place or doing a new turn around coming back to an area, please contact us, see any of that information that they can. So,
sign vandalism has been an issue for both parties this election season. Hamilton and Kent Varney will be on the ballot for family court judge. Well, from blacksmithing to making guitars, Culture of Recovery in Hindman is helping those who are facing or have faced drug addiction. WYMT's Katie Cook explains how doing hands-on activities benefits those who struggle.
For them,
I call it my peaceful place.
it is hope in the midst of a difficult time.
Coming from addiction,
An experience they call life-changing.
this program to me means it means everything, really.
Painting, sculpting, and building.
In my recovery, I'm just trying to find things that can keep my mind busy.
They are doing just that, creating something new physically and mentally.
We're making a pinch pot now.
And for some, the culture of recovery is now a way to give back to the program that means so much.
I've moved up the line a lot.
Now having the opportunity to work for the program.
This green here is green, like forest green.
I'm a sponsor now, so I sponsor guys coming through the program. To see them come in like me, hopeless and not knowing which direction to go, and just kind of lead them and show them, there is a new way of life, there's a better way of living.
But everyone involved in the hands-on experience says it just helps them get through.
I like to stay busy, and I like to work with tools.
Crafting the way for a better life ahead. In Hindman, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
Great story. The Culture of Recovery program is part of Hindman's Artisan Center. Participants of the program are with Knott County's Drug Court and local recovery center. Well, if you can't go see Tyler Childers perform at Pikeville this December, don't worry. He'll be back with another Eastern Kentucky native at Rupp Arena and the KFC Yum Center next year. Jackson native Sturgill Simpson and Childers, a Lawrence County native, are teaming up for A Good Lookin' Tour in 2020. The two artists will be in Lexington February 28th at 7:30 p.m. Later during the tour, Simpson and Childers will stop in Louisville on May 24th at 7 p.m. Tickets go on sale November 8th. Well, coming up at 11, there's concern that high winds could spark additional fires in the hills of Los Angeles, where firefighters are tackling the Getty Fire. Other parts of the country are dealing with much different weather conditions. We'll tell you more about those.
And the soggy weather arrives here tomorrow as a cold front moves through. We'll break down that forecast coming up.